Welcome to My Opinion here on My Opinion TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And this morning we want to do a follow-up to the story of the 14-year-old girl who was killed by her 21-year-old so-called lover. And that story is so depressing and so distressing in so many ways based on what we're hearing. I decided to do a follow-up to the story based on the fact of some persons who have reached out to me to give me some information as it relates to what was going on. And then the Gleaner followed up the story this morning by giving us more insight into what happened, which I will read. The 14-year-old girl who was slain in a jealous rage by a 20-year-old who obsessed over her had engaged in acts of self-mutilation and even went missing in an apparent cry for help. This is the account of Cooper's stepfather, Andre Stewart, who told the Gleaner that he had once reprimanded his daughter for maintaining contact with the eventual killer. Cooper, a student at Jonathan Grant High School in St. Catherine, died in intensive care unit at the Kingston Public Hospital on Monday after succumbing to stab wounds she sustained in an attack. The alleged killer is in police custody. Relatives and neighbors confirmed that Cooper and the 20-year-old had been in a relationship for at least a year, but he began to harass her recently after she took the advice of the stepfather to break off ties. Her mother, Sushane Tuller, denies the two were involved. Now, persons have reached out to me and have told me that the mother is lying because this young girl was under real no parental care. Even when she went to school, it had to be elders from the community who took her to school and registered her to school. She had issues in school, and we understand she was really like a troubled child. Even when the house was burnt down, she sought help, but because the matter was not reported, she didn't receive sufficient help from school authorities. That's what I get to understand from persons very close by. Now, this 20-year-old man, possessive and cruel, had made certain movements towards her, which persons in the communities observed but said nothing. And just to follow up as it relates to the Child Development Agency, the Child Advocate Group, I see where Diane Gordon is saying that having an affair with someone less than 16 years old is still a criminal act. So this man should have been reprimanded, he should have been reported, and should have been arrested for molesting this child. I can't call her girl because she's a child. Now, her mother is denying that the two were involved. You know, when it reached down to this point, because the mother might fear interrogation from police and the authorities, she is going to back away and say that she was not involved in a relationship. But everybody who reached out to me say yes, they were involved in a relationship. Stuart, who is the stepfather, he seems as if he is more involved with the child than even the mother. He said he fought emotional battle trying to save his daughter. So he referred to her not as his stepdaughter, but his daughter. He said, my daughter call him and tell her. And I tell her, what you call him for? How come you sorry for man we want to kill you? That's what Stuart said to her. But I think Stuart would find himself in a position that he's part of the problem because he never reported this matter to the police. Calvin Butler, a 52-year-old neighbor who burns coal near the house where Cooper lived with her mother and stepfather, said he was coming from his field 3 days before the incident and saw the accused hiding in the bushes close to the house. He said I came up sudden on him and said to him, "What you doing near the people in house?" He told me to mind my own business because he will shoot me. Now, we all understand, Butler said the 20-year-old was using fear to control the teenage girl, adding that he was warned on many occasions by neighbors to leave her alone. This is where my problem is. Everybody's telling him to leave her alone. He was coming from bushes. He saw this man hiding in the bushes. This man does not necessarily have to know who reported the matter to the police. Someone should have saved this young lady, this young girl, from this boisterous and cruel and evil man. Somebody should have reported the matter to the police. Unless these people were complicit and were in league with what was going on, especially the mother of the child. Because if all the neighbors see it, clearly the mother must have seen it. Somebody must have said it to the mother. In a social media post, the alleged attacker accused persons in Nesbury Grove of calling the police on him and threatened that everyone would go down if the police were to apprehend him. Well, at least I feel some sort of relief here when they say people were calling the police. But people were calling the police. Did they actually call the police? Did the police actually show up? Meanwhile, the Child Protection and Family Service agencies dispatched a response team to Cooper's home on Tuesday. Now, everybody is going to reach out now, but the situation has unfolded already. The child is dead. Everybody is going to offer assistance now. The child cannot come back. The child is dead. Why persons did not save this child? She was crying out for help based on what we hear. At school, she had problems, right? Now, the problem is, did the school reach out to her or try to get help for her? That is another situation. Anyway, personnel met with family members, provided grief counseling, and conducted a need assessment. This is all irrelevant because the child is dead. That's my problem. That's my point. Well, CPFSA Communications Manager Rochelle Dixon Gordon told the Gleaner that the agency will make referral for ongoing counseling for the Victim Services Division. We are deeply saddened by the incident and express condolences to the family. It is unclear if similar investigations have been launched by the Center of Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, as head of the agency, Charmaine Shand, could not be reached up to press time. Now, my problem is, especially in rural Jamaica, this is an ongoing problem for years, where young persons, young child, are attached to older men in the cry for need, for help. And because in the rural area, there's lack of opportunities for certain things, these young girls tend to look up to these men who will give them financial help. But we have seen recently that a lot of women have been, their life have been snuffed out by these jealous men, jealous rage. And this child at no point should have been involved in a relationship with a 21-year-old man. And this man should have been reported to the police. The emphasis should be, these people should have reported it to SISOCA, reported to the Child Protection and Family Service Agency, so that something could have been done. Everything is being done now when the child is dead. How sad it is. I hope this killer will spend the rest of his life behind bars, never ever to see the light of day. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be the first to be notified. Until next time, take care of the children, look out for a neighbor, look out for a loved one, and most of all, keep it locked on My Opinion TV.